Hi, my name is Obed, and I'm here to introduce another new topic. Today, we want to talk about the motherboard. We also want to talk about computer memory. So let's start with the motherboard. What is the motherboard on a computer? The motherboard is a large circuit board inside the system unit of your computer, onto which all the internal components have been attached. So it's a big printed circuit board. And on the motherboard, you'll find the CPU slot there. You'll find expansion slots and so many other things you can see on the photo. So I just wanted you to understand what is the motherboard, because sometimes something happens to your computer, and during diagnosis, the person doing the repair, the ICT expert, tells you that the motherboard is faulty. So it's normally good if you understand what is the motherboard. So we won't get into details about the motherboard unless it was a computer repair and maintenance course. So for now, we just need to understand what is the motherboard. The next thing that we want to go through, let's go through computer memory. So computer memory refers to the components normally used for recording and retaining digital data for some interval of time. We have three types of memory. Let's start with the first one. The main memory on your computer. It's called RAM. RAM stands for Random Access Memory. Random access memory is the main memory inside your computer. And this RAM, it stores data and information when your computer is on. So that is why when you're starting up your computer system, you normally see a process called loading. That is the booting process. Sometimes you might wonder why the computer doesn't just turn on like an electrical switch. You just turn it on and it is on. You turn it off, it is off. So what normally happens is that the operating system files that your computer needs when it is operating, when it is on, it takes all those files from the hard drive and stores them temporarily in the random access memory, so that when you're using your computer and it is on, anytime it requires a certain operating system file that it uses frequently, it doesn't have to go pick it from the hard drive. It gets it from the random access memory, which is closer to it and actually faster. So that is the main purpose of the random access memory. So it stores the operating system files frequently required during the operation of your computer, and also the user's working interface where you do your work. So it is the random access memory storing this. Random access memory is volatile. The meaning of volatile, it means it loses any data in case it's disconnected from power. So it relies on power to keep data. So that is why we say it is volatile. For example, if a blackout happens, and let's assume you were using a desktop computer that doesn't have any backup, a UPS or anything like that, you end up losing anything that you had not saved. Basically because this data was held by the random access memory. Let's assume you are playing a movie and then we happen to have a blackout. So what normally happens? When you turn on your computer, it doesn't turn on and continue playing the movie. Why? That interface was held in the random access memory. Let's assume you are typing a letter and you have not saved that letter. Or you are typing some data on a spreadsheet, Excel, and you have not saved that data. And then something happens and your computer system gets disconnected from power. You lose all that data, because what was holding that data temporarily is the random access memory. It's very important because it's very fast and it actually helps your computer run efficiently, effectively, and fast. The next storage or the next memory that we want to talk about is the read-only memory, ROM. So read-only memory is a permanent memory that stores permanent instructions typically put there by the manufacturers of your computer, and it is normally attached or fixed to the motherboard of your computer. So you cannot directly edit or change information or data in the read-only memory. What does it store? It stores the firmware. Firmware is the software that controls how your computer system boots up and performs some other basic operations. That is why even a new computer that has no operating system or any program installed, you press the power button, you'll see it do something. It will load, it will start up, and it will even tell you that it doesn't have an operating system. So where is this program that is checking and knowing that the computer doesn't have an operating system and that is trying to load or start up a computer system that has nothing? So it's the firmware that is within the read-only memory of your computer. It also stores your computer details and manufacturer's information. So that is about the read-only memory. The next type of memory that we want to talk about is secondary or auxiliary storage. Now, this is what we are used to. This is computer's long-term storage that allows you to store your files, your software, the operating system, documents, photos, video, and other things. We talked about these devices. These are what we call computer storage devices. A good example is the hard drive inside your computer that stores the operating system and all the files in your computer. Yeah, this one is an auxiliary or a secondary storage device. And then from there, we have like a flash disk. Yeah, we have an external hard drive. We have SD cards and others. So those are secondary storage. Some people call them the backup storage or the auxiliary storage. So this brings us to the end of our today's topic. We've talked about the motherboard, we've talked about computer, memory, RAM, ROM, and the secondary storage or the backup storage. Thank you so much. I was your teacher, Obed. See you during the next lesson. We'll continue learning more and more interesting things. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Obex online iko tayari kwa simu yako ama kompyuta, ka nyumbani au kwa cyber. Tunasema elimu sio barrier.